Welcome back to the vendor table.
Hi.
Hey, Lauren.
How's it going?
Oh, you know.
Tell me about your life these days.
It's good, I guess. I don't know. It's all right.
It's
busy season.
middle of the season.
It's like,
It's
oh my God.
good.
It's so busy.
It's great. It's great.
Oh, God.
Everything's fine.
My editing whiteboard is so overwhelming right now.
You have a whiteboard?
Oh, I have a whiteboard. Yeah.
Oh.
I can't survive without a whiteboard. It's like right there. I see dates. It's
I just
great.
have like my task manager on Honeybook.
I know, but like, you know,
Writing it down.
Paper, digital. I guess I'm a paper person in this regard.
In this situation.
Or a whiteboard person. So.
A white bread whiteboard guy.
I'm such a just a bowl of oatmeal. Just a whiteboard and a bowl of oatmeal. That's just how I work my weddings. Well, all right. Well, you know, it's been a little while since we recorded.
Yeah.
So we did an episode with Jennifer B. Shout out to Jennifer B.
Yeah. Thanks, Jen. That was really nice.
Thanks for coming and giving your insight on wedding planning. It was really insightful. It really was.
As much as I think that my job is very stressful sometimes, I can't imagine being a wedding planner.
Dude, I know. Oh my
Whoa.
God.
Woof.
God. And I always talk about it like there'll be a time when I think I hang up the camera and I've been thinking about it.
Oh no, I'm not doing the face because of that, but like you're not alluding to being a wedding planner, are you?
I thought about it for a hot minute. And then we did the podcast with her and I was like, do I really want to be a wedding planner? It's probably a million times harder.
That would age me like 10 years and 15 hours.
I have so many grays in my beard right now. It's just like from the past 3 years of weddings that you would think it's from my kids. It's probably partially from my kids.
I think it started with my son, but now it's
weddings too.
Busy season.
Yeah, busy season.
Yeah.
Busy season, summer, fall, like we are knee deep into it. Like my August is a little slower than normal. Not normal, but it's like a little slower and I kind of do it like on purpose because it's hot.
I took a 5-day stretch off in August, but other than that, I'm fully booked and like it's a lot.
Yeah. I take a solid week off in August, like during my wife's birthday's in August. So I take like that week off and we do like we're doing family trips and stuff like that. So we're going to, you know, really have a little fun.
I'm like knee deep in shit on my end because I worked on Father's Day and I also worked on my husband's birthday.
Oh, so you got to take some time. Well, we're knee deep into it. We've had a lot of weddings this year. We've worked a lot together this year, which is exciting.
Did.
Got a lot of BTS on at the Vendor Table Pod on Insta. You can check those out. But today, we're talking
about
the little details that can make your day go even better.
Yes.
This is like something that I've wanted to talk about for a long time, and I just needed enough like things to kind of mention. And throughout the past 10 plus years of being a wedding photographer, I've seen things that I know can make days go smoother or better, or even just look better from the photographic standpoint, but also just little things that you don't even think about. Like, and this would have been probably good to talk with Jen about, but the little things that can make your day look even better. We have like some really good tips and tricks.
This is more of like an aesthetic thing.
Yeah.
Than like an oh shit kit or something like that. But things that you can do as a bride or somebody involved in the wedding can do. So I think that over the course of our careers, we've seen a couple of things that stood out to us that probably could have been done a little bit better, or at least would have looked better on camera. Yeah,
it's a great point. And this is a great episode for both vendors as well as, you know, clients, like as couples, like especially brides, I think more than anything else.
More so brides probably.
Yeah, more so brides than grooms are just going to listen to the brides anyway. So,
yeah.
You know,
They're
just there.
They just have to get ready 15 minutes before. Like, they just roll out of bed.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I've shown up before, and they're like, yeah, we haven't showered yet. Just give us 10. And I'm like, what?
Well, that's a good first one to talk about.
Shower?
Yeah. How about a groom tip? Okay. So, brides, you're going to tell your husband this, or your future husband, I should say, right? So, when the photographer arrives, the groom should be showered and shaved and ready to go. Not dressed.
Doesn't have to be dressed.
Doesn't have to be dressed, but do you know any weddings I've showed up, or like my
should
second...
be wearing pants.
Yeah. Should be wearing pants. Or just, I don't...
Cover your lower half.
Yeah, I guess that's something you got to do.
You'd be surprised how often that needs to be said.
I mean, dudes being dudes, I guess.
Dudes
I
being
don't
dudes.
know how that goes. Like, I haven't done groom prep in a long time, so, but no, I would say a tip for like a bride could tell their groom, or a photographer could tell their couple, is that the groom should be showered and shaved prior to the photographer arriving. They don't have to be dressed. They don't have to be in the tuxedo. They don't have to be like fully dressed or anything like that. You'd be in your loungewear, but be showered and shaved. And all the bridal party members, the groomsmen, should be
also
showered and shaved, because that could put a huge hiccup into the day. That could put a huge wrench into the timeline. And those are things that like could really, set the tone for the day in the wrong direction. Mm-hmm. Like you've second shot for me.
Yeah.
And, like, I think you've told me a couple of times that, like, he didn't shower yet or something like that,
Thankfully, I mean, for the most part, again, it takes guys like 4 seconds to get ready.
Yeah.
If it's just one of them, if it's just the groom that needs to get ready, it's a good quick 15-minute shower isn't a big deal.
Yeah.
But if there's 12 groomsmen and not a single one of them has showered, and there's 2 bathrooms, guys,
Get in the damn shower.
get it together.
Get it together, people.
My God.
Well, like, kind of bridging into, I guess, maybe getting ready stuff, right? Like, we have a lot of tips, and as a photographer, we're with the couple for 10 plus hours sometimes, and we see it all. We see, get those getting ready moments all the way to the last song at the reception, and, and then some. One of the things I want to talk about is, and this is kind of, it's kind of a hairstyle thing. Yeah. But one of the things I want to talk about is hairstyles based on venues. All right. Like, I think a lot of brides, and this is a tip for brides, and even, I guess, like, we have a lot of hairstylists that listen to this podcast, but I think a big tip that a lot of people don't mention for a bride is that if your venue, okay, you should do your hair based on your venue. Mm-hmm. And this sounds really, really weird in saying that, but say you're getting ready. Say you're having your wedding on a beach.
Let's say Land's End.
Okay.
Land's End, for example. It's on the water, breezy, can be salty.
A lot of wind.
Some spray.
Mm-hmm. Like, South Shore, Long Island is notoriously windy. Mm-hmm. It's notoriously windy. So, what I see, and I photographed there probably 15 times, is that, hair being down for a bride on these venues that are on the water or, are susceptible to wind, that's a huge, like, it's not a huge, like, don't do that, but it will just make your day a little bit better, because your hair is not going to be as windswept. And you're going to have, I think, better photos in the process, because you're not going to be messing with your hair the whole time.
You mean like if their hair is up, like an updo,
Yes.
or like a half up, half down, or something like that, as opposed to fully down glam waves that are probably going to get wrecked by the ocean.
Exactly. So, I mean, being a guy, like, guys don't really have to deal with this. Most guys' hairs are short, and so they don't really have to deal with it. Their hair's gelled, and it could really fight the wind.
Right.
Much better than the bride's hairs. But, like, even, like, bridesmaids and stuff don't think about that. Like,
Nope.
It's like, I want to wear my hair down and all that stuff. Maybe that's a tip that, like...
And listen, ladies, I'm a hair down kind of girl. I look like a peanut head if my hair is up, so I get it. But there are certain times that you might want to consider wearing it like half up, half down in a low bun or something like that, just in case you got wind. Because I can't tell you how many times Mike and I have shot at certain venues and everybody's just going like this.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah. hair in the face. Just every photo is like, do you know how many times I face
Stuck
swap?
in the lip gloss.
There's always like one bridesmaid like this, and then it's like, I do burst fire.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm like, there's going to be one in there.
There's gotta be one.
There's got to be one. But it'll just make the day go a little bit smoother if like, you're planning on having your wedding on the water, on the beach or something like that. Maybe plan to have your hair up for that, or have maybe a versatile hairstyle where like I've seen a lot of hairstylists, they have an updo.
Do like a midway shift.
Yeah, and then they like could let it down like, right before the reception or something. Maybe that's something cool.
I think I've had the opposite where it starts off down and then for the party it's up. So it's like out of the way.
Yeah.
It's not sweaty, but like doing something like that where either your hair person comes to do like a touch up or a hair change so that you have both, or the option at least is a good idea to consider if you have a location that's one of those like windy, crazy venues.
Yeah.
At least an idea to keep in your back pocket.
Exactly. I mean, South Shore, Long Island venues like on the water, they're so windy.
Even for example, engagement shoots. How many times has somebody like come with their hair curled? Like, don't even bother.
It's a good point. I wasn't even thinking about sessions, but that's something that like I'm building a new engagement session guide, and that's probably a tip I'll give because like you're fighting now with engagement sessions. You do have a little bit more time or versatility. You can move around a little bit quicker and stuff like that, and you have more room for error, I guess. But with a wedding day, you might be pressed for time, or you might have like certain scenarios where you can't do that. So. These are just like, that's like the first tip that I kind of wanted to share is just, I'm seeing this more and more and more. And like, it's like, I guess it could bridge into also like styles of dresses, like for the occasion, like,
Well, even to touch back on that, like summer. We're in the height, like the hottest month of the year right now.
It was 90 last week.
August 1st. It's 1 billion degrees outside. You're sweating. Do you really want long hair sitting on your neck all day when you're wearing...
I don't know how that feels, but it's probably miserable.
It's pretty awful.
Yeah, that's probably miserable. And you're also wearing like
extensions and
if you're wearing like a 20-pound dress, like that's extra weight. Like you're gonna be like dragging that around. So maybe like plan for the season a little bit more, and that's little things from obviously the dress, but also the hair, like the little things like the hair. Planning for that might be like a thing that saves you a little bit of frustration throughout the day. And it's a small thing, but I think it's a pretty powerful tip.
If your hair has trouble holding a curl and things like that, if it's humid, the likelihood of it falling out, no matter how much hairspray you have in, is very high. So like, I have naturally curly hair, but if you wanted it straight or something, like if I wanted to have it straight, that humidity is just gonna like,
it's gonna pop it.
It's just gonna do it. There's not really much that can happen. I know some of these hair artists can do like miracle shit. Yeah. But know your limitations, I think.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, know your limitations is really good. And it kind of goes into, little things also for like venue related, right? Or like could even be weather related in certain scenarios. Like we talked about, photos on the beach or like, couples on the beach, not only hairstyle, but like think footwear, right? Like, guys don't have issues because they're wearing dress shoes. Like you're pretty much going to walk in.
You're covered.
You're fine, right? But with females, like, you're not going to want to wear a stiletto on the beach if you're doing beach.
You're not really going to want to wear stilettos at all.
I don't know.
In my opinion, I feel like a lot, actually this is one of the things on the list is those like little, they're heel savers? Heel savers. So it's a small plastic thing that slips onto your heel if you are wearing stilettos so that you don't sink into the grass. Yeah. Which is a life-saving tool because you will be walking around like a baby giraffe otherwise sinking into the dirt. I generally recommend block heels because they won't do that and they'll be a lot easier on your feet if you want to keep them on when you're dancing. And nobody wants to be barefoot on a dance floor. Yeah. Gross. Yeah. Oh, God. So gross.
I cringe when I see people barefoot on the dance floor. Dude.
Dirty. Not even the dirt, but you know how many glasses get broken on a wedding day?
That's what I was going to say. It's like, I like literally see probably 3 to 4 glasses a night get broken on the dance floor. And then I see like the drunk cousin on the dance floor dancing, and then, you know, what happens? You step on glass.
You just don't want glass embedded in your heel.
Oh God, it's miserable.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Blood?
Yeah, all over the place. I had it happen this year.
Yucky.
And I really just cringe when I see no shoes on the dance floor. I cringe because I just know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I know it's going to happen.
It's really yucky. Bring a pair of flip-flops. Bring a change of shoes.
Yeah, like a lot of the weddings now provide the
dancing flops.
The dancing flops, you know, that's like a really... I think that's always... I feel like it's been a thing for a while, but...
Yeah.
The basket of flip-flops for the females, like, I get it. You're wearing those heels. Like, it's probably miserable to dance in. I don't know.
This is also a Shark Tank thing, but there's a brand called Passions where you can actually buy a shoe and get interchangeable heels or flats.
I saw that. I saw like an Instagram thing,
Yeah.
like, or something like
They're
that.
a little pricey, but you can get like basically like a style of shoe and then interchange out different types of heels. So like you can have one pair that's like glittery or one pair that's like a wedge or something like that. And then they have different sizes of heel and then you can convert them to flats.
That's pretty sweet.
So I thought that was a pretty brilliant
Yeah.
idea for specifically for brides, really, because
Yeah.
they have bridal shoes as well. My friend who's getting married in September just bought a pair. So
That, like, I was gonna probably recommend, like, you know, a lot of my brides, like, no joke, I have been very smart in years past where, like, if they're doing wedding on the beach, they're wearing like Keds, like those sparkly Keds, or like the
sneakers.
Toms or something like that, or even flip-flops on the beach for their shoes, because your feet really aren't going to get seen. Like, and then they'll change into their reception shoes for like their, you know, for their ceremony.
yeah,
their
or if you do like a
reception, stuff
seated photo or something where
Exactly.
the shoes, or if they're like matching Louboutins or something like that,
Yeah.
you want to get those. But wearing comfortable shoes for points of time where you're going to be on your feet for hours, very smart.
Yeah, it's very smart. I think I had a bride recently that was having like her feet were really hurting her, and we had to take breaks, and it's totally understandable. So that's why I think like having, you know, a change of shoes, or like you said, the like Shark Tank shoe or the heel savers or something like that, where you could get off your feet for a little bit, or be more comfortable. That's always a benefit on a wedding day. You want to be comfortable on a wedding day, and so like whether it's your hair, your dress, your shoes, like for guys, like, you know, I can't stress enough, like, you don't want to wear a heavy ass wool suit like in the
No.
summer, so
And
dress
also,
accordingly.
a couple of the weddings that I've shot recently, the groom has brought an additional shirt.
Yeah,
So smart, because by the end of a 95-degree day, in the middle of the photo session, you're soaked.
yeah,
Especially, I mean, guys have it so... Listen, this is the one situation where I'm going to say that guys have it rough. When they have to dress formally, you're wearing so many layers. It's a lot.
it's a lot. Like I wear a blazer most of the time on a wedding day, and it gets hot. It really does. Like you
I
really
imagine a collared shirt to feel like a really weak person strangling you.
Yeah, it's not really enjoyable.
It's
I
so
don't know.
strange, but you look real good.
My flower ties.
Not you specifically.
Well, I feel like you geared that towards me, so
Fine.
I'm gonna take that as a compliment.
Okay, do with it what you will.
All right. Well, the other things we could talk about, we talked about like some things for the bride and groom. How about for like the best man, maid of honor?
Oh my God, this is one of my biggest, like, makes me crazy.
Oh,
It makes me crazy.
it makes me crazy too, but not like so much anymore. But I really think it goes a long way. And the thing that we're going to talk about is for speeches, okay? Having a speech written on a piece of paper
Or even typed out.
versus reading it off of a cell phone looks 1,000 times better in those photos. And it looks 1,000 times better in the moment as well. It looks like you put thought and effort into that best man, maid of honor. It looks like you put a lot of thought and effort into it. Not to say that, you know, reading it off the phone isn't thought and effort, but at the same point, it just looks so much better.
It does. It looks like more sentimental. It gives you more, I guess there's something just like more memorable about it versus seeing technology is like one of those things where if you see it in photos, you're just like, ugh. Like we don't like to see Apple Watches on wrists. We don't like to see cell phones. We don't like to see iPads and like things like that are things that you can focus on that aren't what's happening.
Yeah, it's so true, right? And like when a best man or maid of honor are reading a speech off of a cell phone, it looks like they're just holding a cell phone.
You also have to remember, like, the words, unless you have adjusted your settings to be larger words, when you're holding it like that, because the words and the text is small, sometimes you're holding it closer to your face than what you actually imagine. Whereas if you're holding a piece of paper, you can see, you can write it yourself to however feels comfortable. So instead of, holding it like this, you're holding it like this.
Yeah. And I would say, like, practice reading it too.
And don't walk around.
And don't walk around. Oh my God. Best man, maid of honor. Brides, grooms, tell your brides and grooms, please tell your best man, maid of honor. Don't walk around during the speeches. I know I get antsy. I like to walk and talk. Okay, I do personally. I've given 2 best men speeches, and I like to walk. But now, as a photographer, and also for video, for everything like that, and even for the people in the room, if you could just stand next to the couple or looking at the couple across from them, like. Big tip is for the vendor perspective, right? The photographer or the videographer, especially because the videographer has to
set up lights,
all that stuff, is mic stands. Mic stands are key because it locks people in. Some people will say, I don't want the mic stand. You say, then this is your mark. Please stand here, kind of thing.
Please don't move.
Please don't move. And some people will ignore, but if you just try to preface it, it's the best thing you could do. But try not to move during the speeches as much as you want to free flow and move
Don't
around.
Traverse the room on a long adventure.
Yeah, it's just we don't have lights everywhere.
Don't twirl and whirl around the room, please.
Just please stop. Don't do that. But it's a good tip, brides and grooms that listen, that to tell your best man, maid of honor is please
stay put.
Stay put. Please stay put. And like the next tip I'm going to say is, like, for the brides and grooms to tell somebody to get the hell out of the way. Is the officiant. Yeah. This is like become a little bit more common now. We work with some professional officiants that are amazing and they know what to do and they step out of the way.
They
and all
make
that
like
stuff.
a solid effort. They even, they like will approach us and tell us ahead of time, I will move out of the way. They'll let us know. But seeing the top of an officiant's head behind the couple, or even seeing them standing directly to the left, just staring awkwardly, so close to them kissing.
It's like, oh. Hi.
And it's not necessarily that we can't edit them out, but
yeah. Should we
have to?
Should we have to? It makes things a little easier, and like this is more a tip to, I guess, like the friend of the couple that is doing the honor of being that. And I will always go up to the officiant and I'll ask them like have you done this before, or anything like that. I'll always, because I'm up there before the bride's procession down the aisle, so I'm gonna say hello, all that stuff, and I'm just gonna be like, have you done this before? And if they say like no, I'm gonna be like, all right, just simple tip, just when you say like, I now pronounce you husband and wife, just step to the side and then say, you may kiss the bride. It's a huge tip. It'll make your day go like so much better. The photos are going to look 20 times better, but it's more memorable that way. There's
a trend that I've been seeing lately with a couple of officiants that I've worked with who have a lot of experience. They've been actually like right at the start of the ceremony basically saying like, it's not an unplugged ceremony, but if you want to take a picture of the bride and groom up here looking at you, now's your time to do it. Otherwise you should be present. And I actually love that, because I feel like people really do want to, like, it's kind of no secret that we hate the cell phones at weddings situation, because to us as photographers, we put our cameras down when we are enjoying moments. Like, I want to be fully present in moments when my job is taking photos. So I can't relate to the photos for everything, kind of thing. But I get where other people are coming from. Maybe maybe the bride and groom don't post their pictures online or don't share them with people, and this is the only time that they're going to be able to capture this moment and remember it. So like, I feel like that kind of situation will give people the opportunity to take those photos without impeding on the ceremony.
Yeah, it's, I think the best thing that I've seen, best trend that I've seen come about is the officiant saying, like, once the bride and groom is down the aisle, saying to everybody, all right, everybody, bride and groom are here. Take out your cell phones, okay? We're all going to take our photos right now, and then you're going to put them in your bag. Best tip I've ever seen. I saw it once last year at Janine's wedding. Saw it once, and I loved it. I even took out my cell phone and took a couple of photos.
Because people did listen after that. You know, they were like,
really
all right.
did, yeah.
They didn't have their phones out for the rest of that time, and I was just like, oh, wow, okay. So it's not telling people they can't take photos. It's telling them that they can within a certain amount of time.
Yep.
So I actually really did like that, and I thought that it did make that ceremony look a lot better because people did have their phones away and they were paying more attention.
Yeah, be in the moment. There was a photo that I saw recently. It might have been on like Looks Like Film or something, where a photographer shared it, and it was this beautiful like first kiss, right? And everybody there didn't have their phones out. Every single, and it was like maybe I'm gonna say 50 people at like an elopement in a beautiful place.
You never see that anymore.
But it was unbelievable to see that because everybody was living in that moment, and it's the coolest thing you could do as a photographer. And I sometimes get caught up in it myself, like, you know, you like, I have probably 10,000 photos on my phone, but living in the moment is sometimes the best thing you could do. So, you know, making that officiant say that, and
it
just
like
being
allows
able
you to fully appreciate the moment, whereas you're like looking at it through a screen is never going to be the same as looking at it in person. You're not tethered to it.
No, it's like, oh God, it's that's. It's just so much.
There's
It's so much better
people,
living in the moment.
Yeah, there's always going
to
be people that disagree. Specifically, like older generations, I feel like, no, I'm going to take my pictures. No one's going to tell me not to. The boomers, and I get it. But
I do feel like that request to put the phones away, or like people like spend money on the signs that like this is an unplugged ceremony,
and people don't listen.
But who doesn't listen?
Yeah.
Who doesn't listen? It's the 50+ crowd. It's not the people that the millennials or the Gen Zers.
We're the disrespectful generation.
Yeah, God, let's not make it political. But it's the truth. Like, so, you know, couples, I would really have your officiant say, you know, put the phones away. In addition to that unplugged ceremony sign, maybe do the whole announcement, like take out your phones and then take a photo and then put it away. It's probably the best way to deter those guests and from having their phone out the whole time, and it lets them live in the moment.
Yeah.
It also prevents them from stepping in the aisle.
Oh my God.
During everything.
Don't do that.
Please don't do that.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be a garbage person.
Don't be a garbage person.
That's
That's like a big garbage person
That's
move.
a huge garbage person thing. Oh my God.
I once had a woman in a bright red dress step directly in front of me during the first kiss during a Jewish ceremony.
Oh no. I've had it happen.
Missed it.
Yep.
The whole thing.
Had it happen. I had a priest stand in front of the couple. The priest facing the couple.
Oh, hold on. I've had that happen before, and there's nothing you can do about that.
Nothing you can do about it. I literally, like, the maid of honor was looking at him like, get out of the way. It was this,
It's this one church
I was like, what is happening?
where they do it like that. And I don't remember which one, but yeah, they, like, for some reason, it's like, I'm going to stand right here. This is the best spot for me to stand.
It's like, what is happening right now? It's not only you're blocking the photographer, you're blocking everybody from seeing that moment. It's the moment. It's the ceremony moment.
But God can see them, Mike.
House of God. House of God. Listen.
I will be smoked.
Not getting religious, not getting political, but at the same point, it really is the older generation with the phones. Like, you have to tell them in the best way possible, and I think, you know, prefacing the ceremony with that is probably the best thing that has come about. A great trend. Last thing I want to kind of talk about, because we're running a little long, which is really cool.
That's good.
It's really good. I'm not trying to like tell people to spend more money here, okay? But I do love the trend of like the bride changing into the reception dress.
Love it.
I really do.
Or like a jumpsuit, or like some fun
It's sick, man.
Sequin, sparkly doodad. I love it.
It looks so good. And I think the bride becomes more comfortable and has more fun on the dance floor. And again, not trying to tell brides, like, you got to do this or spend more money. I'm trying to, like, I never want to do that. But I notice that when brides change, like, their outfits or change their dresses, their mood changes immediately. Everything changes about them. They're more, like, they're just, like, looser and they're having a lot of fun.
Well, from, like, a female perspective, like, wearing a dress that long, even when it's bustled, it's heavy, it's restricting, you may not have as much, like, ability to move the way that you want to or dance the way you want to, or it's strapless and you're pulling it up the whole night or something like that. But if you put on something you know you're going to be comfortable in, it doesn't even matter. Like, you're the bride, you can wear whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, I've seen like short cocktail dresses to, like, you know, ball gown styles, like
people
sparklies.
Will go nuts for what, if you want to wear a t-shirt and bike shorts, baby, people are going to go nuts for it. So, like,
it's always cool, like, because I love seeing the bride come out and, like, after the dress change and like the DJ will say something, or like the bridesmaids will go crazy over it, and I think that's so cool. So it's a total vibe. Yeah, it's a total vibe. And again, not trying to say you got to spend money or you got to do this, but I do see the mood shift, like, after a bride changes. It's definitely a trend I like. Yeah, definitely a cool. I feel like cool trend. Like, the slight uncomfortableness just goes away. Yeah. And they just feel more free, and then they move and dance, and everything's wonderful. Yeah, do like and I would say, if you're going to do an outfit change, like, you do it after your formalities. Mm-hmm. So you do it after, like, your first dance, your speeches, toast, your parent dances, cake. Actually, yeah, honestly, cake, I think you could be in a different dress. Cake could be more casual. Yeah, paparazzi I've had pics. That. Yeah, I love the trend with the paparazzi pic style and stuff like that. So I think that's a really awesome trend, and I think that long live the dress change. Long live it. Keep it going. Keep it going, kids. All right. Well, this was a good one. We gave tips and tricks. We were so useful. Oh my God. We're like an educational podcast. Oh my God. Who are we? Oh my God. Like, you know, maybe people will like that one. You don't hate us as much. Got the haters. It's fine. It's okay. We love the haters. Just me being pretentious. And me being arrogant, apparently. Well, you know. That was the ugliest laugh I've ever done. I honestly wasn't listening. It was atrocious. I'm going to have to play that back. Oh my God. Well, this was a fun one, Lauren. I'm like 100 pounds and I had 5 chins. Well, we're gonna freeze frame that. Can we freeze frame that? Like, we need to clip that. That's a good clip. That's gonna be the clip cover. Well, this was fun. This was a lot of fun. Tips, tricks, all that stuff, like, useful things. Tips, tricks, and tits. I'm gonna end it on that one. He hates me. Lauren. Yes. Where can they find you? You can find me on Lauren O'Brien Photo on Instagram, and the Feral Photogs, my personal account. I am on TikTok. I'm not telling you where. At Lauren O'Brien Photo on TikTok. Fuck, Mike. Just saying. Don't make it the same thing. There's 3 videos. Yeah, she's only got 3 videos, but they're actually really funny. All right, well, you can find me at Michael Casara Photo on Instagram, TikTok, and you could find us at the Vendor Table Pod on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Guys, it's been fun. We'll catch you next time. Okay, bye.